Hey y'all, thanks for stopping by. So, I want to talk to you about accountability, your credibility, and fact checking, because it seems like a lot of people are just willing to accept the things that are put in front of them without any sort of digging, and this can lead to a lot of backlash. It can make people not trust you. For a lot of people, you can work on being trustworthy your entire life, and it takes one lie to ruin that for the rest of your time knowing somebody. There's always going to be that doubt sitting in the back of their minds. As someone who produces content on the internet in video format, I think it's very silly to call myself a journalist despite covering news topics and current events. I don't have a journalism degree, but I feel that we should all strive to uphold a level of journalistic integrity. We want to tell the truth on here. We want to give the correct information to people, and if we get things wrong, it's important to retract that or to provide some sort of explanation and clarity as to why you made such a mistake. And so we're brought to the focal point of today's video, Jeff Tarzia's SmashJT and his obsession with being on the cutting edge of leaks and sources for gaming news. Many of his videos will refer to anonymous sources or leaks that are coming from these studios that give him the news that he's after. Recently, it's come to light that one of his sources for the upcoming Assassin's Creed Shadow game was another YouTuber. His channel name is mcdizzle. You can find a link to it in the description. But he sent a fake email to Smash Jeff Tarzia saying the game was going to be delayed for an extended amount of time. He used the fake name when he sent the email, and I believe he used a spoofed email address, but there were no sorts of credentials, there was no sorts of proof as to who he was, and Smash Jeff Tarzia didn't bother to fact check this. He just said, I got a letter, I got a source, and in his video he said, take this with a grain of salt, but he still made a 10 plus minute video explaining Assassin's Creed was going to be delayed because of this leak that he got. And then he put his own spin on things with, it's because of wokeness or DEI or because every single right winger looks at a black man and says this, the George Floyd simulator. Now, the Gooner Gators to the right of us are trying to spin this to say that the real fault here lies with mcdizzle, the user who made this fake leak. He was just trying to trick people. He lied on purpose so he could make fun of somebody. And if this story sounds familiar to you, it's because this happened about 8 months ago with a guy named Nick Calandra, except he was reporting on Grums and the Ember situation. He was tricked by a guy named Gigabear, who went by a pseudonym Urinalist. The Goonergate crowd really ate that up about how people don't have any journalistic integrity and they don't check their sources, and look where we are now. There's also some claim that he committed identity theft or fraud by using a fake name or the name of a Ubisoft employee, but this is a justification for the mistake made after the fact. Smash Jeff Tarzia didn't look up anything about this individual, about the Ubisoft employee, until after it was found out that he had been tricked. Now he's trying to cover his bases, when the easiest way you can cover your base is to simply verify the information you receive. It's funny because the last video I made covering Smash Jeff Tarzia, there's a person in my replies who was saying the reason people block Jeff Tarzia, the reason he gets blocked by all these devs and stuff, is because he always collects his receipts, and this way it's making sure they don't get covered in his videos, that he can't report on the bad things that they're doing. But he doesn't care about collecting this information in the first place. Obviously, he just accepts the things that are given to him that fit his narrative, and he'll make videos on it because he knows that it'll make him money. And that's the real meat of the problem here, is the financial compensation that these people are receiving. I'm not suggesting that journalists shouldn't make money. If you do a good job, if you report facts, yeah, you should be compensated for that. Giving people the news is important. But when the finances come first for you, when it's less about telling the truth and it's more about spinning a narrative, when it's more about feeding people slop that you know they want to hear so you can make money off of them, I have issue with that. And aside from you just being morally bankrupt and only caring about money, this is very apparent that you don't care about the truth. You don't care about telling your audience the right thing. You only care about telling them what you want them to believe. Fortunately, there does seem to be a large contingency of Smash Jeff Tarzia's audience who has recognized that he doesn't cover his bases, that he doesn't fact check any of the stuff he puts in his videos, that he's only doing this for profit, and they are turning against him. I think it's a good thing that his audience is recognizing the importance of truth and honesty and decency. Maybe they're seeing the hypocrisy in all their posting about how much you hate journalists and no matter how much you think you hate them, it's not enough. But the people who they openly despise, the folks who really have poor integrity and poor practices when it comes to their reporting, are the ones who they compensate the most financially, are the ones who they give the most of their time to, and maybe they're starting to have this sort of eye-opening revelation right now. I'm very happy for you for growing up. I'm not sure how long it took you, but it takes some of us a long time to learn how to be people, and however long it took you, I'm just glad you could make it out on this side. I really hope this is a sign of turning tides when it comes to this Goonergate crowd. A lot of these guys only care about the money side of things. They only care about rage bait content and not about telling the truth. And the truth can be boring sometimes. It's not as sensationalized as a lot of these guys would like it to be, and that's why they tell straight up lies on the internet to get clicks. There's nothing wrong with asking for a source. There's nothing wrong with asking someone to verify their information. And if someone does contact you with a breaking story and you ask them to provide some sort of verification and they refuse to, you have to understand that you just caught yourself out of a trap. That person was trying to trick you into posting or saying something wrong so they could make fun of you for it, and now you're not going to do it. You should be proud of that. But I guess until another Goonergator gets tricked by the most obvious bait you've ever seen in your life for rage bait profits, y'all try to have a good day.